Once upon a time in Korea, there was a school that had a student named Gyeong-su. He was having a tough time because 4 other students were not being nice to him. They were actually hurting him. But then, something very strange started to happen to Gyeong-su. His body began to change in a way that made it seem like he was turning into a zombie. Gyeong-su, feeling like a zombie, tried to stand up to the students who were mean to him. It was like he had superpowers, but he couldn't control them well. During one of these moments, he fell down on the road and couldn't get up. The 4 students thought Gyeong-su was no longer alive. The story then takes us to a hospital. Gyeong-su was there, and his dad, Mr. Lee, came to see him. They talked, but it was a strange conversation because Gyeong-su and his dad both knew that Gyeong-su was turning into a zombie. Even in the hospital, Gyeong-su tried to act like a zombie towards his dad. But his dad was ready. He had a Bible with him, and later, he even put Gyeong-su in a bag to take him away. Just when you think the story is over, Gyeong-su's hand pops out of the bag. This showed everyone that zombies are tough cookies. After a few days, we're back at the school. Now, it's winter, and all the students are happy and busy cleaning the school, a tradition they proudly follow. Meanwhile, in a science lab, a girl wakes up. She's one of the students who was there when Gyeong-su turned. She hears a weird noise, sees a rat, and gets bitten by it. And guess what? The rat turns into a zombie rat. Now, she's in trouble because that bite means she might turn into a zombie too. Just then, Mr. Lee, who is also the science teacher and Gyeong-su's dad, walks in. He finds out about the bite and locks her up, not letting her go. In another part of the story, we're introduced to a cozy restaurant owned by the mother of another main character, An-jo. All the friends gather there to enjoy a meal and talk about their teacher, Mr. Lee. They all noticed he's been acting weird since his son, Gyeong-su, disappeared, especially since Gyeong-su was last seen being packed into a suitcase. Everyone steps outside, still clueless about what happened to a missing friend. In the cool night air, we learn that Cheong-san has special feelings for An-jo. As they chat, An-jo lets her hair down, wondering if Cheong-san feels the same way about her. It's a moment filled with whispers and secrets, just like in the stories where heroes and heroines discover their true feelings under the moonlight. The next day brings a new twist. The girl who was locked away by Mr. Lee is still with us, not a zombie yet, which surprises everyone. Meanwhile, An-jo and her dad share a light-hearted moment at home, and Cheong-san, who lives in the same building, joins them for a playful challenge. The loser has to carry the winner's bag to school. An-jo ends up losing and takes San's bag, making their walk to school a little adventure of its own. School feels like a happy place, buzzing with the energy of students enjoying their day. But darkness lurks in the corners. The boys who were mean to Gyeong-su are up to no good again, dragging a girl and boy to a secluded spot and behaving very badly. They're making trouble, trying to scare and control others with a nasty video. It's a moment that could make anyone's heart race with fear. But then, like a hero stepping out from the shadows, Seo-hyo arrives. He's brave and kind, rescuing the girl from the bullies. An-jo, watching from afar, realizes her heart beats not for San, but for Seo-hyo, the boy who stands up for what's right. It's a twist that feels like a leaf swirling in the wind, suddenly changing direction. Amidst these tangled feelings, the school day goes on. The class teacher, sensing something is wrong, starts looking for answers. She's like a detective, piecing together clues about the missing girl. Mr. Lee, the science teacher with secrets, tries to cover up the truth with lies about a rat. But the teacher's intuition leads her to a shocking discovery. The girl, now a zombie, revealing Mr. Lee's dark experiments. A girl, having been injected by Mr. Lee, shares her frightening experience, and her words spread like wildfire among the students. It's like when a rumor starts on the playground, and suddenly everyone is talking about it. Seo-hyo, stepping in like a hero, rushes her to the medical room for help, with An-jo by his side. But in a twist that no one saw coming, the girl bites An-jo, leaving everyone stunned. Meanwhile, the whispers in the classroom suggest that Mr. Lee's actions were revenge for the cruel treatment his son endured from the same girl and her friends. It's like when someone decides to stand up to a bully, but things go too far. Another girl, feeling sick, decides to head home, slipping away quietly, unnoticed by the others. In a race against time, San tries to help An-jo, but when he gets there, it's too late. She's already been whisked away to the hospital by her father, who works as an ambulance driver. It's like when you try to fix a mistake, but you find out you're just a little too late. As the story unfolds, An-jo bravely faces what's happened to her, even daring to ask Seo-hyo out on a date in a moment of boldness. It's like when you gather all your courage to ask for something you really want. But just as things seem to be looking up, San arrives, throwing a wrench into the moment. Much to An-jo's frustration, back at the lab, Mr. Lee discovers the girl is missing and starts to panic. It's like losing something important and not knowing where to look. When confronted by another teacher, Mr. Lee insists the girl is under quarantine, but the principal refuses to call the police, sparking a heated debate about justice and protection, reminiscent of a time when help was needed but not given. Suddenly, the police arrive to arrest Mr. Lee, turning the school into a scene straight out of a detective story. Meanwhile, a medical teacher bitten by the girl turns into a zombie almost instantly, adding another layer of chaos to the unfolding drama. As the school day continues, the canteen becomes a stage for planning and plotting. An-jo sits with friends, trying to figure out how to win Seo-hyo's heart, unaware that he's interested in someone else. It's like planning a surprise party, but for the wrong person. In the background, the class president sits alone, misunderstood and underappreciated by her classmates. The story takes another dark turn as we learn that members of the gang have been filming the medical teacher, now a zombie, adding a layer of mystery and danger to the tale. When a teacher, now turned into a zombie, launches a terrifying attack on the students, changing the course of their day in a way they never imagined. It's like a peaceful day, suddenly turning stormy. One of the boys becomes the teacher's first victim, marking the beginning of a nightmare for everyone. The drama then shifts to the school's roof, where a girl, overwhelmed by despair, contemplates ending her own story. But just in time, her friend rushes to her side, a beacon of hope in her darkest moment. He confesses his feelings, saying, "Yes, I like you. We might both be losers, but we can be losers together." It's a moment of raw honesty, like when you share your biggest secret with a friend. However, the situation takes another dark turn as the girl, peering down, witnesses a horrifying scene. Students and zombies in a chaotic dance of fear. The sight shakes her to her core, a reminder of how quickly joy can turn to terror. Back in the canteen, life seems normal for a moment. An-jo, unaware of the unfolding horror, asks San about Seo-hyo's feelings. San's heart aches as he realizes An-jo's heart lies elsewhere, and he steps back, unwilling to be the messenger of his own heartbreak. It's like watching the one you care about care for someone else. Suddenly, the calm is shattered as An-jo sees students running for their lives, chased by zombies. The terror from the rooftop has spread to the ground, a nightmare come to life. Amidst the chaos, a gang member turned zombie sets his sights on An-jo, but San, ever the protector, rushes to her aid. As our story continues, we see the school's principal in a frenzy, scolding the teachers for letting the zombie outbreak reach the media. It's a scene filled with tension, like when grown-ups argue over something gone terribly wrong. Outside, the danger is far from over. A teacher's attempt to make an announcement is cut short by a zombie's attack, adding to the horror. In a moment of courage, San rescues An-jo from a zombie in the canteen, and together, they make a daring escape. Their flight from danger is fraught with obstacles, including a truck driver turned zombie, but they manage to find temporary safety on the first floor of a building. When they reach a classroom, hoping for refuge, they face suspicion and fear from those inside, who hesitate to open the door, mistaking them for zombies. It's like being locked out of your house on a stormy night, but persistence pays off, and they're finally let in, joining others who've survived the chaos. Seo-hyo and the president, in a twist of fate, also find their way to the classroom, climbing in through a window. In another part of our story, the first girl who turned into a zombie ends up in the hospital, setting the stage for a new wave of chaos. Meanwhile, we learn more about Mr. Lee, the man behind the madness. Before landing in jail, Mr. Lee was a scientist with a daring plan. He took DNA from a rat, hoping to create a medicine to make his son braver. But things went terribly wrong, and his son turned into a zombie. leading to a tragic end for his mother. It's like a science experiment that you'd wish you never tried. Back at the hospital, the girl who was bitten starts a zombie outbreak, turning doctors into zombies with just one bite. It's like when one domino falls, and suddenly, they're all tumbling down. On a brighter note, the girl who left school early makes it home safely, a small ray of hope in a dark situation. But the calm is short-lived. A bus full of students returns to a school they no longer recognize, a place of fear and danger instead of learning and laughter. Inside, the students are desperate for help, trying to call the police, who think it's just a prank. It's like shouting for help, but no one believes you're in trouble. However, Onjo's dad, who works with an ambulance team, hears the call and rushes to save them, a glimmer of hope in the midst of despair. A teacher arrives, seemingly a savior, but the relief turns to horror when Onjo spots a bite on his hand. In an instant, he turns into a zombie, attacking another student. It's like realizing the person you thought would save you is actually the one you need saving from. The students manage to lock the zombie teacher away and flee to the lab, where Seo-hyo leads a daring defense. It's like the final stand in a castle siege, with everyone fighting to protect their fortress. But when they finally secure themselves in the lab, Onjo fears the worst for Seo-hyo. Left outside, it's a moment filled with dread, like looking for a friend in a crowd and not finding them. The story then shifts to a tense scene on the roof and a dangerous moment in the restroom, where a hidden girl turns into a zombie and is stopped only by an arrow. It's a shocking moment, like a twist in a tale that you never saw coming. As the school descends into chaos, the principal hides, and Onjo faces a heart-wrenching moment when her best friend turns into a zombie and attacks her. Letting go of her friend's hand as she falls from the window is a choice Onjo never thought she'd have to make. A moment of loss and despair. In the midst of all this, Seo-hyo survives, hiding and planning the next move. The group decides to escape through the pipes, a desperate plan to avoid the zombies breaking in. San steps up to lead the escape, but notices Onjo's silent despair, a heavy weight on his heart. Now, our characters find themselves in the announcement room. Seeking safety, San and Onjo face a moment of truth upstairs. San urges Onjo to follow him down, but she hesitates, feeling like she has nothing left to live for. San's heart aches at her words, but eventually, she decides to join the others, a flicker of hope in her eyes. Meanwhile, Seo-hyo makes a daring escape from zombies, bursting out of a window. But as San reaches the room, he's overwhelmed by zombies, leading to his tragic fall alongside them. It's a heart-stopping moment, like watching a hero fall in the final act of a play. The next episode opens with Mr. Lee admitting to the police he created the virus, a confession that hangs heavy in the air. The story then shifts to a girl in dire straits who seeks refuge in a public toilet to give birth, a shocking twist that explains her earlier departure. Upon emerging, she's confronted by a world overrun by zombies. Back at the school, Soo-hyuk and San navigate through chaos, barely escaping the clutches of zombies. They find sanctuary in a conference room, where tensions rise. The group's attempt to close the windows and secure their safety is interrupted by internal conflict, especially when a girl in a pink sweater acts out against another student. In a desperate attempt to understand the chaos outside, they turn to a computer, only to be shocked by the extent of the zombie outbreak, captured in videos spreading across the internet. Their brief moment of insight is shattered when a zombie attacks through the window, leading to a fierce confrontation that leaves one of them bleeding and accused of being infected. The story then expands beyond the school, to a politician and Onjo's father, who are part of a rescue mission complicated by infection within their ranks. San's friend faces suspicion of infection, leading to isolation and a tense wait to see if he will turn into a zombie. In a cruel twist, a girl sabotages San's friend by mixing zombie blood with his, ensuring his infection. The night brings a heartbreaking transformation. San's friend turns into a zombie and, in a moment of bravery, is thrown out the window by San, a sacrifice that leaves everyone in mourning. Amidst the sorrow, a girl with a newborn makes a desperate choice at San's mother's restaurant, tying herself up to protect her baby from herself once she turns. In the tense silence of the school's lab, the survivors are shrouded in sadness over San's friend's fate. The girl in the pink sweater, expecting praise for her actions, is instead confronted by the class president. With a swift slap, the president exposes her deceit, revealing to everyone the harmful act she committed. Despite her tears, the girl shows no real remorse for her actions, leaving the group in disbelief. As she leaves the room, the class teacher follows, hoping to help her escape the dangerous situation. But their path is blocked by zombies, leading to a desperate escape attempt. It's like a scene from a movie, where the characters are running from the monsters, except this is all too real for them. Meanwhile, San's mother arrives at the school, driven by a mother's determination to protect her son. Unaware of his transformation, she approaches San's friend, only to be attacked by him and other zombies in a tragic turn of events. The students, left in the science lab, cling to hope that the teacher and the girl have found safety, unaware of the horrors unfolding outside. Elsewhere, a student known for his taunts finds himself in a harrowing escape from the zombies. His attempt to flee on a bicycle is foiled, leading him back into the school and into the principal's office, where he confronts zombies in a desperate fight for survival. In the midst of chaos, two girls find themselves in a confrontation in the washroom, a reminder of the personal battles that continue even in times of crisis. The story then shifts back to Mr. Lee and the police officer. Mr. Lee reveals the tragic origin of the virus, intended to strengthen his son, but instead turning him into a monster. As the city falls into despair, Mr. Lee and the officer face a zombie onslaught. In his final moments before turning, Mr. Lee directs the officer to his laptop in the science lab, which holds the key to an antidote. Even as a zombie, Mr. Lee retains a semblance of control, a rare phenomenon that adds a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. The officer, now carrying the weight of this crucial information, seeks help to find the antidote that could save everyone. As dawn breaks, the students remain trapped in the science lab, waiting for a rescue that is yet to come. It's a moment of uncertainty, where hope and fear mingle in the quiet morning light. The students find themselves in the washroom, bruised but determined to stick together. They make a plan to leave this place of despair, hoping for safety in numbers. On the roof, a dramatic scene unfolds. A boy from the gang, responsible for causing so much pain, stands at the edge, contemplating a dark choice. He had planned to share a video that would only spread more hurt. The girl, determined to stop the video from causing more harm, confronts him, risking everything to break the phone and protect her dignity. But as she tries to flee, the relentless zombies attack. Miraculously, she survives unscathed, a sign of hope amidst the horror. San and Soo-hyuk, meanwhile, embark on a mission to the staff room, seeking a means of communication with the outside world. They stumble upon the girl, fighting for her privacy and dignity, and in the chaos, San manages to secure a phone. Their moment of triumph is short-lived as zombies swarm the staff room. Soo-hyuk makes a daring escape through the window, while San takes his chances with the door, a split-second decision that leads them down different paths. In the principal's office, a confrontation escalates between a boy and the principal, ending in violence. Onjo's father, a beacon of hope, arrives, ready to lead a rescue mission despite the overwhelming odds. Their goal is clear: reach the roof for a helicopter evacuation, a ray of hope in the darkness. San, venturing alone, witnesses the boy's attack on the principal and captures it on video, a decision that turns him into the boy's next target. The chase leads to the library, where desperation and fear culminate in a violent struggle for the truth. The students, trapped in the washroom, muster their courage and make a break for the medical room, finding a moment of respite and a glimmer of hope in a computer. Their journey continues through the pipes, a daring escape from the encroaching zombies. Outside, the city descends into martial law, with the authorities cutting off all communication in a desperate bid to contain the chaos. San's attempt to make an emergency call is thwarted by the silent, signal-less city, leaving them more isolated than ever. Onjo comes up with a smart idea and asks one of her classmates to fetch a drone they've left in the lab. They carefully make their way out through a window to retrieve it, showing their determination and teamwork. Meanwhile, a police officer and a companion are on a crucial mission to find a laptop that could hold the key to stopping the chaos. Their journey takes them to San's mother's restaurant, where they discover a girl who has bravely tied herself up to prevent harming others, alongside her baby. In another part of the school, San finds refuge in a music room, navigating his way there through the school's pipelines. With the drone now in hand, Onjo and her friends use it to search for San. Their relief is palpable when they see he's safe. The drone then flies over the city, revealing the widespread devastation, including cars abandoned and, heartbreakingly, a student's parents turned into zombies. The sight overwhelms her with grief, and their mission is cut short when zombies destroy the drone. In a dramatic twist, Onjo's father manages to evacuate them in a helicopter to a military office. There, they're locked in a room, a standard procedure to ensure they're not infected. The situation grows more tense as the boy from the gang, now a zombie, seems to be shunned even by his own kind. The girl from the video, miraculously unaffected by a zombie bite, finds herself in the same predicament as San, hiding out in the music room. Meanwhile, another student is so distraught by her parents' transformation into zombies that she contemplates ending her life, a testament to the deep despair the students are facing. Her friends, in a desperate attempt to save her and find a way to San, devise a clever plan to use the school's PA system. By playing music in different parts of the school, they hope to lure the zombies away, creating a path to safety. The plan is a risky one, but it shows their willingness to try anything to stay together and survive. Their strategy seems to work at first, as zombies are drawn to the sound. However, a deaf zombie poses an unexpected challenge, noticing them and launching an attack. The situation escalates when the boy San had injured earlier confronts them, leading to a tense and dangerous encounter with Soo-hyuk. The climax reaches a boiling point when the class president intervenes, only to be bitten. Soo-hyuk takes a drastic action to protect everyone by making the threatening boy fall out the window. Meanwhile, Onjo's father, faced with guards who won't listen, takes matters into his own hands, knocking them out to make his way to his daughter, disguising himself in their uniform for the escape. When San sees that the class president has been bitten, he's ready to take extreme measures to stop her from turning into a zombie. But Soo-hyuk, showing his compassion, intervenes, promising to handle the situation himself if it gets worse, displaying a tough choice between safety and loyalty. Elsewhere, in the medical room, the students band together to help a severely injured friend, showing their unity and care for each other in dire times. With the class president now a risk due to her infection, Soo-hyuk ties her hand to his, ensuring she can't harm anyone, a gesture of responsibility and care. A police officer, now tasked with the safety of a baby and a girl fleeing zombies, returns to the sanctuary of the restaurant, highlighting the ongoing efforts to save those in danger. Hunger starts to affect the students trapped in the music room, leading them to discover a room filled with food, only to find it locked from the inside by the girl in the pink sweater, adding frustration to their desperate situation. Onjo's father, in a daring escape from pursuing soldiers, jumps into water, getting injured in the process, but determined to save his daughter, showing the lengths a parent will go to protect their child. Soo-hyuk, still alongside the girl who was infected, confesses his feelings, a poignant moment of human connection amidst the chaos. Meanwhile, a girl transformed into a half-zombie by her attackers takes revenge on a teacher who failed to support her, a dark twist on seeking justice. The students come up with a plan to use music to lure zombies into one part of the room, allowing them to escape through another door, a clever tactic showing their ingenuity and teamwork. Onjo's father gears up with weapons from a police station, preparing for whatever comes next, while the students, determined to escape the medical room, face yet another setback when their attempt to leave alert zombies, forcing them back into the danger of the school. In a moment of hope, a vlogger boy stranded on a terrace reaches out for rescue, showing the widespread impact of the crisis. But as one police officer attempts to help, the other betrays him, leaving with the bike. On the other side of the story, San, Soo-hyuk, and their friends finally make it to the terrace, but they hit a snag when they find the door locked. Up there, another student refuses to help them, claiming to be the sole survivor when a military helicopter arrives to rescue him. This leaves San and his group still trapped. Suddenly, a turn of events helps them. A zombie student accidentally starts a fire in the school, triggering the fire alarms which automatically unlock the doors, including the one to the terrace. Freed at last, they rush to the rooftop, signaling for help by writing SOS, hoping to be seen and rescued. Meanwhile, an act of deception turns into a rescue mission when an officer, thought to have abandoned his colleague, returns with a bus to save them, showcasing a moment of unexpected heroism. As they attempt to signal for help on the roof, a student offers a lighter to start a fire, leading to a misunderstanding about her habits. In a different part of the school, the girl in the pink sweater decides to be brave, planning to bring food to the survivors on the roof, recalling her teacher's sacrifice. Unfortunately, her act of bravery ends tragically when she encounters a half-zombie gang member who overpowers and attacks her. In a personal moment amidst the chaos, San confesses his feelings to Anjo, but the moment is cut short when Anjo distances herself, leading to an awkward and tense situation. Their confrontation is interrupted by the zombie gang member, leading to a fierce fight. The class president, now a half-zombie herself, manages to throw the attacker off the roof, though it doesn't end the threat. As the saga continues into episode 9, the story shifts focus to the military's discovery of Mr. Lee's involvement in creating the virus and the crucial information about an antidote located on a laptop in the school's science lab. This revelation sets off a new mission to retrieve the laptop, emphasizing the ongoing struggle against the outbreak. When a helicopter finally arrives in response to the students' SOS, the soldiers on board proceed with caution, screening the students for infection. The discovery of the class president's abnormal temperature raises alarms due to her half-zombie state, complicating their rescue. The soldiers make it clear, before anyone can be safely evacuated, they must first retrieve the vital laptop from the science lab. When the soldiers, upon witnessing a girl turning into a zombie after an accident, realize the outbreak is more widespread than they thought, this revelation forces them to leave Anjo, Suhyok, and the other students behind. Fearing further infection, San, feeling betrayed and angry, extinguishes the bonfire and removes their SOS sign in frustration. Meanwhile, Anjo's father, determined to rescue his daughter, encounters a man in need along the way. Showing his kindness, he hands over his gun to the man, prioritizing his mission to save Anjo over everything else. As night falls, bringing rain and thunder, the students on the roof devise a plan to escape, using the noise of the storm to cover their movements. Tragically, San encounters his mother among the zombies, a moment that breaks him as he realizes she has turned. His grief is palpable, highlighting the personal losses endured during the outbreak. In a shocking twist, the commander watches a video from Mr. Lee, learning that there is no antidote to the virus. The only solution to prevent the spread is to eliminate the infected, a grim revelation that paints a dire picture for the future. With dawn breaking, the students make a desperate attempt to leave the school, facing the horror of their peers turning into zombies. One student sacrifices himself to save his friends, a heroic but heartbreaking moment. The military, realizing the gravity of the situation and the risk of a global pandemic, considers a drastic measure, a bomb to contain the outbreak. Amidst this chaos, Anjo finally sees her father, who manages to open the locked door, leading to a poignant reunion. Determined to find safety, Anjo's father leads the students towards the mountains, believed to be a safe haven from the zombies. However, their escape is marred by tragedy as Anjo's father distracts the zombies to save the students, ultimately getting bitten and locking himself away, sacrificing himself for their safety. The students find temporary refuge at a construction site. Surrounded by dangers, the commander finds a breakthrough. Zombies can't withstand high-frequency sounds. This discovery leads to a plan to lure all the zombies to one place and eliminate them with a blast, aiming to end the threat once and for all. Meanwhile, the students are faced with a grim reality. The only way out of their current predicament is for one of them to sacrifice themselves by distracting the zombies, allowing the others to escape. This idea is met with resistance. Nobody wants to be the one to make the ultimate sacrifice. Just when all seems lost, a helicopter appears, announcing an impending blast to clear the area of zombies. The students are urged to flee to safety. At the same time, drones deployed throughout the city emit high-frequency noises, distracting the zombies and creating a path for escape. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, the gang's boy, now a zombie, confronts San and bites his hand during their struggle. Anjo watches in despair, her feelings for San making the moment even more painful. In a final act of bravery, San, now turning into a zombie, uses himself as a distraction to lead the zombies away from the escaping students. The fight between San and the gang's boy ends tragically with the blast that was meant to cleanse the area, leaving nothing but devastation in its wake. In the series' final episode, the survivors, including Anjo, return to the construction site, hoping against hope to find San alive, but they are met with silence and emptiness, a solemn reminder of the cost of their survival. The group then ventures into a forest, where they come across ribbons and a torch left by Anjo's father, a breadcrumb trail he had left behind. These ribbons guide them out of the forest, symbolizing hope and the legacy of Anjo's father's love and protection. Emerging from the forest, they find themselves in a deserted city, a stark reminder of the outbreak's widespread impact. When zombies pursue them, the survivors choose to stand and fight rather than flee. However, this confrontation results in two of them getting infected, leading to heartache as one is taken down by the class president after turning into a zombie. The class president, feeling the pull towards becoming a full zombie and overwhelmed by hunger, decides to distance herself from her friends to protect them. Soo-hyuk and Anjo, not wanting to give up on her, follow in an attempt to bring her back. To their shock, they find her fighting against her own kind, the zombies, a desperate attempt to resist her fate. However, when she turns on Anjo, Soo-hyuk finds himself unable to harm her due to his feelings for her. The girl then makes a heartbreaking choice to leave, sparing Anjo. After their harrowing experiences, the survivors find themselves at a military base where they are detained for 3 months. This measure is taken to ensure none of them has turned into zombies. Upon their release, Anjo, carrying the weight of their journey, hikes to a mountain to leave food for her friends, symbolizing hope and remembrance. Gazing at the school's roof, she spots a bonfire still burning, sparking a belief that their class president might still be out there. Driven by this glimmer of hope, Anjo shares her thoughts with Soo-hyuk. Together, they decide to return to the school under the cover of night, accompanied by more friends, in search of answers. Upon arrival, they find the class president by the bonfire, now somewhat recovered but not fully human. When Anjo pleads with her to come back, the class president reveals the existence of others like her. In a moment that leaves her friends in shock, she jumps from the building, choosing her path among those who share her fate.